Hi, welcome back to the Juju Shelf. I am going to review the book I finished about 2 days ago called Christmas with Kris Kringle. I want to start reviewing the books after I read them a little bit sooner because I have found that I just gloss over it and I want to give you guys a little bit more context about what is happening. So Christmas with Kris Kringle has three main characters. You have Celeste, which is the sister of the main character, Belen, which I think I'm saying her name correctly, but I often mispronounce names, so you'll have to forgive me. And then you have Christopher, also known as Kris Kringle. That's his legit name. Belen's parents passed when at different points in time around the Christmas season for her. And she was left with her sister, which has Down syndrome. And she loves her sister dearly, and she puts her sister first, almost to the detriment, or I would say to the detriment of her own self-care. And she's very much in the mindset of doing it by herself, and she literally hates Christmas. So then you have Chris, and he's like a low-key guy, and he is in the middle, or towards the end, should I say, of his micro-retirement, which he named himself. And there's a lot more to him, but I don't want to say to give it away, but he is the Santa at the mall that Belen works at. And the minute she sees him, she tries to get him replaced because he's young, he's athletic. He is not the build that you would think of when you think about a Santa, right? So that falls through because they're like, it's the beginning of the season. We have no Santas, so she's stuck with this guy. And he's like, it's going to all come together when I get my costume on, And so, and it does. For the most part, he does seem to get it together. As she gets to know him, she learns about his micro-retirement. She also learns about his financial situation, and she makes some incorrect assumptions, of course, which was a big sticking point for her at different parts in the story. At one point, I literally said out loud, why is this a problem for you? It's mainly a problem for her because of the fact that she budgets. Everything's really tight for her. She has X amount of dollars saved up. She knows exactly how much money she has, and she knows what goes where. So she is one of those people who's really focused on the financial aspect. She kind of felt like he was leading her or letting her misunderstand him, like his situation or whatever. But I mean, there were telltale signs. She went to his apartment on their first, was it first or official second date? And, then they went out from there. She just went into the lobby or whatever. But it was really nice and fancy, which should have been her first clue that this dude was well off. I think it's also important to know, and it says this in the first page of the book, that there are some trigger warnings. So if you have any issues with, obviously when I said Celeste had Down syndrome, that if you have any issues with the suggestion of gun violence, it wasn't described in the story at all, but it is a piece of the story. And grief and loss, because obviously she's lost both of her parents. It was really hard for her. There's also sexually explicit scenes, which, some people call spice, some people call illicit. Let me tell you, I'm here for the spice. So that was fine with me. I actually really enjoyed that. So that, that's up to you. Sorry, let me put my phone on silent. So I really enjoyed that part. And let's see if there's anything else I want to share about Christmas with Kris Kringle. Oh, my rating. I haven't rated that on Goodreads just yet. That's probably a 3-star. It was, it was what you would expect from a Christmas book. Both couples had to, primarily Belen had to get past some hangups. And I'll take that back. Both of them had to get past some hangups because Kris has some communication issues. Like, he was a procrastinator, which caused a really big issue later on. Belen also meets Kris's family in this story, and that was just really beautiful to experience with her. As someone that hasn't had the best Christmas experiences myself, I really resonated with the story. And like when she at one point she got really emotional, and I felt that. So I really connected with this character in a deep way just from my own life experiences. And I thought it was a really beautiful story. So I definitely would recommend it. It's a good Christmas read. All right, that is it. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.